to overcome Andrew, because Jeferson had such a hard time with Jaime Canuto in the semifinals that he's probably doesn't have everything on him. Yeah, let's see how well he's prepared, how he's feeling, and let's see, because Andrew Wiltse is that type of guy that starts slow, playing guard, very composed, but all of a sudden he starts pushing up the pace, looking for your back, and
he's good at pulling the trigger, right?
Yeah.
He's very patient, but when he goes, it's like a lot of guys actually in the middle heavyweight division. It's a good combination between strength, power, and athleticism and speed.
Exactly.
So they can accelerate very quickly, which is something we talked about a lot, and it's very important in no-gi, right? The ability to accelerate.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And Andrew is like that. He's been doing this throughout the event. Hopefully, we're going to see him on the open class. The open weight division.
That would be interesting.
Yeah,
I'd be interested to see how his jiu-jitsu stacks up against some of the other guys. Yeah. Guaresi is I believe, a no-gi pan champion, whereas, of course, Andrew Wiltse was the most recent no-gi pan champion, winning just last year, the 2020 IBJJF pan no-gi. Guaresi has hit the podium at the No-Gi World Championships as well, took bronze there. He's a Pan No-Gi champion 2019, a European No-Gi champion in 2019. In fact, all of his big results have been No-Gi.
Yeah. Yeah, he's way more driven, like no-gi focused. Even though he fights in the gi here and there, but yeah.
Some guys like that, right? They get better results in one or the other.
Exactly.
I still feel it's amazing that Cyborg, for example, you know, a legendary black belt competitor, and, you know, both very competent in both gi and no-gi, and yet he's never won a world title in the gi.
In any belt.
And yet he has just endless titles in no-gi.
Endless.
Like, yeah.
5-6-time world champion in no-gi, ADCC absolute champion.
Yep. Guaresi, you know, one thing he's going to find is it's very difficult to pass Andrew Wiltse's guard, because for the weight class as well, Wiltse's relatively short, he has short limbs, and he's very good at throwing that hook over, like the lasso style, recovering guard very well, but he uses his legs a lot to try and get shin to shin. He really likes the shin to shin guard from the bottom. But right now, I see the way that Guaresi is standing just a little too far out to let Andrew get the connection. And in fact, you look at the way that the Guaresi's hand fighting right now, but he's always keeping the distance and maintaining control over Wiltse's lower legs.
Yeah.
Doesn't allow him to make contact with those hooks.
Exactly.
Smart strategy.
Yeah, but every chance he has to put shin on shin there, he's going to look for it and elevate Guaresi. So he needs to be really sharp on his control there of the legs.
Wiltse likes to get in and loves using the single leg X and the butterfly guard. He pretty much says that he's stolen all his jiu-jitsu from watching Marcelo Garcia. And I think that, you know, that's not a bad place to get jiu-jitsu from, right?
And yeah, he mimics it really well.
Of course, he has his own spin on things, you know.
Doesn't he, like, his body type is pretty much the same as Marcelo's, right?
Very similar, yeah.
Right.
Very thick, strong torso,
Exactly.
short limbs, yeah.
But thick legs as well, everything.
Right. So perfect build for that butterfly guard, the open guard that Marcelo made so popular. Right now, Guaresi just, that was a classic Marcelo Garcia sweep attack right there, the dummy sweep. Guaresi just going in and out, very much probing with his attacks. Has only committed to a couple of quick knee slices, but hasn't been able to really get too deep with them. But he hasn't made any significant progress in trying to connect his upper body with Wiltse's.
Yeah, I would say he's since he had a tough run all the way to the finals, he might be taking his own time, and we're halfway through, so we're probably going to see a more aggressive Guaresi from this minute on. But then you have Andrew Wiltse, which is like resting, sitting, because Sissi never got any pressure. He's just sitting there and very composed and breathing, and so he will have his tank full for the last 5 minutes. Nice arm drag.
Guaresi had 3 matches to get into this final against Andrew Wiltse. Guaresi was actually the #1 seed in this division.
Yeah, he was the last champion.
Yep, Wiltse. He also had 3 matches, was the #3 seed in the division.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think that Wiltse, if he didn't submit all 3, he submitted 2, right?
Let me see, he definitely did not submit John Combs, but he submitted his first match, Vinicius Wong. I didn't get to see his match with Pedro Montero. 3 tough opponents back-to-back. Whereas Jeferson Guaresi had to have matches against Andrew Nascimento of Alliance, David Garmo, Jaime Canuto, of course, a World No-Gi silver medalist. No easy matches in this division.
No.
And still, really not made any significant progress as Guaresi. But Guaresi, unlike some of Wiltse's opponents, has been engaging, because you notice that happens a lot with Wiltse. His opponents, they either...
They want to stay away.
Yeah, they don't want to go in. They don't want to go into that shin-on-shin. They don't want to risk that connection, the risk of the leg, coming into the single leg X and maybe going for like sort of the leg attacks and coming up onto the back. Guaresi's he's keeping a certain amount of pressure on Wiltse, but he's not going forward with any real pressure there.
No.
Right?
Every time he feels any kind of threat and that Wiltse is like fixing his grips, he stays away.
He resets.
And resets, yeah. Which is the smart thing to do. But you can only do so many times, because otherwise you're not going to be imposing any threat and then score my goal against you.
And Wiltse, of course, from bottom has got a couple of arm drags, but hasn't really gone for any significant sweep attempts either. No. So it's there's another arm drag though from Wiltse, and Guaresi read the position. Oh, there's a deeper pass attempt.
Guaresi's looking to counter Wiltse's movements, and he's succeeding on that. 2 minutes to go, and he's been attacking more and more active than Wiltse. So I think that Wiltse is falling in a trap right now by staying quiet and calm when he should be, rushing up a little bit more and imposing the rhythm a little bit more. So, because the decision might go to Guaresi. If the fight ends now, it would be Guaresi's. So he's being smart. Like, Guaresi's being really smart right there. And Wiltse is he's too chill. In my opinion, it's too chill right now.
He does seem very laid back, a little too comfortable. Yeah. Yes, it seems like, this last 1 minute, 40 seconds, of course, this is where it really gets important, and a sense of urgency is required. And you're right, these flurries, these bursts of activities from Guaresi.
It shows more.
It does, because
right?
Usually you'll see like a match like this, if it goes 0-0, usually the judges go towards the guard player, right? But only if the guard player has been actively attacking.
If he's trying to drag and like showing some action, which honestly Wiltse is not.
Right.
And to my dismay, because usually he's the one imposing the rhythm. And now it's not. That's not happening. Guaresi is being really smart. See, Wiltse is still scooting back. He's still scooting back. He's not scooting forward. So that all of that, like the referees, they look at all these details. Who is taking who is engaging more? Who is walking forward? Who's scooting back? Everything counts now. With the 0-0 on the board, everything counts.
Final 40 seconds of this match, and Guaresi now getting a little bit more busy, keeping the pressure on rather than in bursts, and I think that's smart, because it shuts down Wiltse's ability to score back.
Up. There you go.
Close with a pass attempt.
Almost an advantage. He got the fight right there. Wiltse fell into a trap, I would say. He fell into a trap. The more experienced, more smarter game, a smarter Guaresi showed up, and Like experience counts a lot.
Goes to
his.
the end. Well,
That's
let's
his.
see, because we've done this before. We've made the call and we've got it wrong, because
Well,
sometimes the judges see
I
things
might
that
be
we
wrong,
don't.
but I'm making the call.
Let's see how they score it.
Yep.
It is unanimous for Jeferson Guaresi,
Yep.
as you called it, Victor. A very composed, very smart, patient strategy from Guaresi, pushing when he needed to push, backing off when he needed to, retreat, staying safe throughout, and basically just making Wiltse react to him. So.